You need to take the time to assess your entire situation, look at your social circles, your job, your relationships, and decide, is this actually supporting the person that I want to be and the life that I want to live? Do I feel like I'm called for more? If I am, what part of that container needs to change to allow me to grow into the person that I want to be? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Melissa and this is Jessica. And in today's video, we're going to talk about why you need to assess the container you're living in if you're not making progress in your weight loss journey or in your life. I read this crazy fact the other week, and I think I'd heard it at one point in my life before, and I was like, wow, that's really crazy. But when I read it last week, it maybe hit me at a different point of my journey, because I feel like, we're talking constantly about like mindset growth and mental and emotional growth and all of that, all of that jazz. But I read a fact that a goldfish will actually stunt its own growth if the container that it's living in is too small. If a goldfish is in a confined space, like a small bowl or a really small tank, that will negatively impact its growth because it will purposefully stop itself from growing to the actual size that its genetic makeup says that it should be. In the wild, goldfish can grow anywhere from 12 to 16 inches. So they can be massive, like the size of a ruler or even bigger. That's actually really terrifying. Because when you think about a normal goldfish that you see in Petco, you're what? Maybe that big max, maybe a little bit bigger max. When I read that, I was like, holy shit. That applies to so many different areas of life, especially in your weight loss journey, especially in your growth as a human. When you think about yourself as a whole, when you're embarking on a weight loss journey and you're trying to make some serious changes, more than likely, you're not going to see any lasting results unless you make other changes in your life as well. And this is something that's just not talked about enough, as people who are overweight, people who have gained weight, people who have, disordered eating, it's usually a deeper emotional reason, or something else is going on in your life which is causing you to stress eat or to emotionally eat or to just gain weight. You're using food as a crutch, right? You're not using it as fuel. You're using it to meet some other need. Yeah. Zoomed out, right? Looking at you and your life and your circumstances, have you stunted you becoming the best version of you because of your surroundings and your container that you're living in? You have to really kind of take a look around and be is this lifestyle that I'm in, the people around me, the job that I'm doing, whatever it is this conducive to me being able to make progress and to achieve the outcome I want to achieve in life? How many of us are either knowingly or even scarier, unknowingly doing the same thing to ourselves? And when you think about your container, I want you to think of we think of a goldfish and you think of it in its little tank or bowl or whatever it is. That's its entire world. That's its entire ecosystem, right? It's not going anywhere else. Whatever it's interacting with, whether it's other fish or no fish at all, what it's eating, what it's doing for fun, where it's sleeping, everything in that fish's life is taking place in this one bowl. When you look at your own life and our lives, we need to take an assessment of, what does our container look like? Where are you living? Who are the people that you're spending most of your time with? What are your hobbies? What are your stress levels like? What's your job? What are your relationships like? What's your relationship with food like? How active are you? What is the bubble in which you're living your life? And are all of the conditions in there, in that bubble, in that container, working to serve you, to help you become that highest version of yourself, or that person that that you deserve to be? Or are there certain elements within your container that are holding you back or keeping you repressed? But because of that container, are there areas where you're purposefully holding back, stunting your growth, and staying stuck rather than moving forward just because of your circumstances? Yeah, and I want to give you some examples of what this looks like. Let's say that you're someone who has started a new weight loss journey. Let's say you signed up with us, okay? Just because we know we do things right, and we know that it's promoting a really healthy lifestyle, really balanced lifestyle, and for the first time ever, you feel everything makes sense. I know deep down I'm doing the right thing. I feel really good. I'm really proud of myself. Like nothing's getting in my way this time. Like I know I'm doing this for me. Now you have a spouse or a partner at home who they have their own insecurities. And because all of a sudden you're starting to make some radical changes and you're becoming a more positive person who doesn't drink as much, who doesn't eat as much unhealthy food with them anymore, who does want to go for walks, who does want to go work out, who does want to be a better person, they are picking fights with you. They're making you feel bad for
Guilty.
weighing your food.
Why do you have to get up early on a Saturday to go to the gym? Like,
Right.
this is our one day to sleep in.
Right.
Like,
And so instead of like being the person who they should be and supporting you, they're actually making you feel like you're doing something wrong. Subconsciously, you're going to start pulling back. You're not full steam ahead anymore. Now you're going to start to pull back here and there to not make them feel so bad about themselves.
or even like fully consciously saying no to pizza every Friday night is going to start a fight in your relationship. You might be in a place where you're like, well, you know, it's really important to me. I don't want to eat the pizza, but it's not worth the fight, so I'm just going to eat it. Or I don't want to like hear the bitching and complaining on Saturday morning when I wake up early to go to the gym, so I'm just not going to go to the gym. I'll just stay home instead.
Right.
And so you slowly start pulling back and stunting your own growth in those places where, like you said, you were full steam ahead. Or even think about it in terms of like, you know, your social circle. If everyone that you hang out with is just constantly focused on drinking or eating out, and that's what you do for fun or your hobbies, the second that you try to find other hobbies, well, now are you isolated?
I think of like, we had one client, Mariah, who had a best friend her entire life, and her friend was a very negative person. There was always something dramatically wrong, always something going on, and she always needed like Mariah to be there for her. She always needed her attention. And Mariah was trying to better herself, and she got to a point where she's like, I love you, but I have to cut you off because you're not serving me in any way for where I need to go. And so Mariah took herself out of her little container and put herself in the big ocean. And how much, I mean, she looks, she's changed her entire life because she had to take a really hard look at her surroundings and who was supporting her, who was keeping her, who was pulling her back, and be like, you have to go. I love you, but like, I have to do this for me. You need to do the same in your life. Like, you have to assess, what is my container?
Yeah.
Who's in my container? What is in my container? Like, what am I consuming every single day? And you need to start cutting out all the things that are not serving you, that are like just draining your energy, so that you can protect yourself and like place yourself into a bigger container.
Think about your job. If your job is something that you dread every single day waking up to go to, and it drains the life out of you, your coworkers are toxic and your boss is negative and your stress levels are always super high because you hate your job so much, you're living small. You know that you want something more, you know that you want better, but you keep playing small maybe because, oh, well, you know, it's secure, or because the money's good, or whatever it is. So you're not playing up to your full potential or living your happiest version of you or your most fulfilled version of you in your workspace because you're worried about, well, what if I can't find another job? Or what if the money's not good enough? So you see, in that capacity, you might be playing small. Or even think about like your living location. We had a client a couple of years ago. She didn't have a whole lot of money and she was living in a windowless basement. That was a big thing for her, is every day when I go home, I'm going home to just darkness. No matter how many lights I turn on, I feel like I am at the bottom level of my life because I'm literally living in a basement. There are no windows, there's no light, and it was affecting her mentally and emotionally. She had to make a really hard decision. I know it's gonna be a stretch for me financially, but I need to do this for my mental health, to expand from this small container that is not serving me and find an apartment or find a living situation where there is light, where I'm not living in a basement, where like I can see nature. And she had to cut back on other things. She didn't go out to eat anymore. She never went out for drinks with her friends anymore. She, you know, had to sell her car and buy a shittier car to drive around, but she made those sacrifices. That way she could upgrade her container. And oh my gosh, when she actually upgraded into this new apartment, it was wild, like the domino effect that happened. Like, her entire life changed. What she explained to me is that I just feel lighter. I feel happier. I wake up and I see the sun. I'm not waking up in darkness. I'm not waking up feeling depressed. Living in that darkness was something that weighed her down for a long time. So just by making that one shift of getting out of that dark apartment and getting into something that felt lighter and made her happier, everything in her life changed. She ended up leaving her job and finding a higher paying job. She left her toxic relationship with her boyfriend and ended up like meeting the love of her life. I think they just got engaged a couple of months ago, which is crazy. And her entire weight loss journey just like skyrocketed, right? She started hitting the gym more often. She was really diligent about counting and tracking her food. She just took everything so much more seriously because she felt better. The biggest takeaway from all of this is don't be the goldfish that lives in the restrictive container, and don't stunt your own growth and your own development to fit in that limited container that you might be currently living in. You need to take the time to assess your entire situation, look at your social circles, your job, your relationships, where you're actually living, maybe the location you're even living in, and decide, is this actually supporting the person that I want to be and the life that I want to live? Do I feel like I'm called for more? And if I am, what part of that container needs to change to allow me to grow into the person that I want to be?
If you feel like this spoke to you, if you feel like this resonated with you, if you feel like, oh my God, like I do need to really kind of work on my mindset, like I do need to think about these other factors that are going into the reason why I'm not seeing the progress that I should be seeing, then you might want to take a look at what we have to offer inside of our legacy program, because we really do focus so much on the mental aspect of things. We have new mindset modules similar to this that go out to our clients every single month, and every month we have our mindset specialists come on and teach about these things. That way people can make progress both physically and mentally in their journey, which is truly everything. And that's really why our clients see so much progress and why they actually can get results and then keep them, because they're working on things up here too. If that sounds like something that you're interested in, make sure you just check it out below. It's linked below, and let us know if you have any questions. And if this resonated with you, give us a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts.